I want to look at it. They controlled the game, on both sides, and you got to give them credit for that. We knew they were a physical football team. We weren't surprised by that, but they were able to run it, and we weren't. And this is a game where you got to win the line of scrimmage, and we didn't win the line of scrimmage today. I told the team that. It's disappointing, but I got to give them a lot of credit. They ran hard, they blocked well, and we have to be better. And we'll look at it and we'll get it fixed.
Do you believe you have the personnel to work with Flus's scheme?
Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. We got to coach better, we got to play better. The physicality of it all. We're a physical football team. We didn't show it today. Give them credit. And we have to be better. And it's not just the defense; it was the offense. Yeah, we threw the ball all over the yard, and that was great. But at the end of the day, we want to be balanced, and we weren't able to do that today. And we got to look at that as an offensive staff and see what they did to stop the run.
All right, so DLLS Cowboys, how demoralizing is it as a play call offense when you have to be perfect? You can't blink.
I don't look at it that way. You're just playing the game. Hey, our defense made some big stops in the fourth quarter. We weren't able to punch the ball in, when they stop them, we got to capitalize. And I think, again, we got to the fourth quarter, which is what we always say. You say you can't win the game in the first, second, and third. We got to the fourth quarter, had a chance to win. They outscored us 10-3, and, we got to be able to score touchdowns down in the red zone, and we didn't do that.
The last drive, when you got the ball, it was 6-7 minutes left. Everything went backwards. What's wrong with the two screens, swing passes, screen passes?
Well, the first one was a screen, and they sniffed it out. The phasing wasn't very good, so we couldn't get to the corner. The other ones weren't screens. They were check downs. And, this team does a good job of batting the ball, and they did that. But, they played very passive when they got ahead of the sticks. Clarence, they played pretty passive on second and third down, so they forced us to check it down, and they took it away.
Brian Todd, aren't you with ESPN? Did you consider letting them score at the end?
We did. We talked about a lot of different things, and it's one of those things. I don't want to get too much into game strategy. We're talking about a lot of different things there, but we felt like we didn't do enough. To give ourselves a chance to win, and there was a chance. We had a good block on there at the end, and thought maybe we'd have a chance to get the block. And again, give them credit. They made the plays today when they had to, and that's why they have the victory.
And then, if you believe you have the personnel to run this defense, do the players run the defense believe in the scheme?
Well, that's the bigger question. I would think so. I would hope so. What are we in? 6 games in? Is that right? We 6 games in? Yeah, I would think so. We plugged one hole in the passing game a couple weeks ago, right? Certainly, we've shown the ability to run the football. We've shown the ability to stop the run. But there's a consistency that's not showing up. And we got to be better. And that starts with me. It starts with the coaching staff, putting these guys in the right position. But, again, give Carolina credit. They were the more physical team today. We knew that it was going to be a physical game. And I'm man enough to stand up here in front of you guys and say that. And I don't like it. I don't like saying it to our team. But when you turn on the film, that's what you're going to see.
John Schroeder with The Athletic. Why do you believe that Eberflus can get this fixed?
Yeah, that's a great coach. Matt's a great coach. He's been around. Everywhere he's ever been, he's had good defenses, and it's not just Matt by himself. Matt's trying. The players are trying. This is not a lack of effort. This is not that. It's, again, we have to be able to play more complementary defense. And, early in the season we were getting hurt throwing the football. And, this game we got hurt running the football. We were not surprised. We got to tackle better. Our gap control is not very good right now. That's the big thing I'd say to you. Our gap control is not where it needs to be. We're not fitting gaps right. I think, first half it seemed like there was, almost probably 75-80% of their runs, the guy was 4 or 5 yards before, we had contact on him. That's not good enough. And we know that, and we're going to address it.
Nick Harris, 4 star telegram on that 4th down late that they were able to convert on the replay. Deron Bland landed off 8 yards off. Is that the call there? Have y'all had time to communicate about what the plan was on that?
Yeah, we feel good. We had Deron, in that situation one-on-one, and, Bryce made a good throw down and away to Hunter, and they moved the sticks. Big play in the game, of course, but not the only play in the game.
Then your offensive run game, where do you feel like it latches for?
Penetration. There wasn't a lot of clean windows. The run game's got to start like they did with, you get movement at the point of attack, and that's what opens up movements when the linebackers flow, and then you cut back off of that. We didn't get much movement, and it's a big, powerful group. They're built that way. And I think it kind of was pretty consistent throughout that they played with lower hats, and they got more stalemates than we got movement.
You and your offense, whenever we talk to those guys, you guys have preached throughout the year that it's part of the game whenever they have to fight these back and forth type battles. Have you sensed any frustration from your offensive guys?
Absolutely not. No, our offensive guys cheer for our defensive guys. Our defensive guys cheer for our offensive guys. I mean, that's, again, people want to talk about the culture and the connection piece, right? And that's where it comes in. It comes in for moments like this. That locker room's hurting. I'm hurting. Why? Because we let an opportunity slip to win another championship opportunity, and it's frustrating as hell, but you don't point fingers. You look at the film, we're going to see it. It's going to jump off the film at us, the things that we didn't do well, and we'll get them fixed. And I don't worry about this team starting to point fingers in any way, shape, or form.
Anybody else? There?
You just talk about Pickens and the run he's on. I mean, I know defense is the topic here, but what he did on offense, the way he and Dak are clicking.
Yeah, unbelievable. Again, when we got GP, everybody wanted to talk about, him and his story and his background and all that stuff. That guy has been truly a pleasure to coach. And you talk about a talented young man that loves to play the game of football. But he and Dak, man, you guys see a little bit of it, but then you guys have to leave, and it sucks. I'm not changing it, so you guys can't stay and watch. They work nonstop, and they're talking nonstop, and that's a relationship that you love to see because two talented players working together. As a coach, that's what you want.
Seems like he's playing full of joy. It's just the fun, the joy he plays with.
He loves football. I would put him up against anybody in this league about how much he loves football. And he doesn't always love Wednesdays and Thursdays, but he works his ass off on the practice field. He loves being on the grass. And, I love the energy and juice he brings to our football team. It is infectious, and I would never say receivers are unstoppable, but damn, he's pretty good.
Does it frustrate you that you're so up and down as a group?
Of course. Yeah, you'd be crazy if you didn't. Our standard, I stand up in front of you guys all the time and talk about building the world championship football team, and we weren't that today. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say that, this is so bad. But of course, we work hard, and we coach hard, and these guys practice hard, and we work in pads, but we got to be better. And I guarantee you there's going to be things that show up with us not playing with great hand placement and fundamentals, and that's where we'll start and make sure the effort's where it needs to be. But, of course, we're frustrated, but doesn't mean the work stops. It means you just have to man up. This is what we signed up for. Signed up to do this, and there's no better job than this in the world.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's demoralizing, but I definitely say it's frustrating, right? Like, just even the last time you have the ball, probably was not our best series of the game right there. Other than the 3-and-out to start the game off, and in a crucial point like that, we just can't do that. And on top of that, right, that being the last time that we touched the ball, it makes it frustrating. But that's the NFL. You trust that those guys are going to go get a stop. Unfortunately, we had a PI call on the third down. Then after that, right, they just kind of ate the clock up, kept running the ball, and did a good job. They won the fourth quarter, and that's the NFL. We won the turnover battle, and don't know the big plays, but they won the fourth quarter, and that was the difference there. And a team that's obviously second-year coach, young quarterback playing well, getting better, young running back, right, that we're familiar with. He told us to buckle up, and he went and had a hell of a game. And credit to them, they got the best, and they're the better team this afternoon.
What was open up for you and Pickens? It seemed like he was having the ball out there today.
He's just an elite receiver. He's an elite receiver. He's playing hard. He's understanding everything that we throw at him, whether it's in different positions. You saw him in the slot a lot more today, making big plays. And then after he gets the ball in his hand, some of the things he does is just only George can do. So he's a special player. We're lucky to have him, and we're only going to get better each game.
Can you just talk about the joy he's playing with? It seems like he's just having fun. Beyond
For sure.
the plays, he's just.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. It's contagious at that. I mean, obviously, I'm having a blast, but when you get to throw it to a guy like that and he makes a catch and you watch him do make the people miss afterwards, try to jump over him, he loves football. And you see it on Sunday, I see it all throughout the week. I mean, there's plays at practice, whether he catches a touchdown and does his celebration or catches a big play and, act like he's or I don't want to say act like it, preparing to, cut back and make people miss. That's who he is. That's the way he approaches every day when he comes in. And we're crazy fortunate to have him, but you see that every day that he touches that field, and when he's around the guys, he loves his teammates and he loves the game of football, and it's contagious and it's fun to watch.
Dak Prescott with ESPN, you said after the Green Bay game, these next two games will show you what kind of team you have after these last two games. What do you know about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we can play with anyone, but it's the NFL, and we've got to make sure that we're locked in because you can lose any game, and that's the beauty of the NFL, the parity. That's why the draft set up the way it is. It's why free agent is the way it is, and it's great. It's great. I mean, you get into a game like this, and you feel like you're going to win every second. Even the field goal block right there, Sam's jumping over, and with the block. In my mind, we're still going to block it, and we're going to go win this thing in overtime. So we got a good team that's grimy. We've got to find a way to win these games. That's the missing chink in the armor right now is whether it's the tied game or this game. We've got to find a way to win games, and if we do that, we feel a whole lot different in the locker room. Now, the reality is the team different? Not necessarily, but you feel a lot better. You're taking confidence, and when you get that confidence, that allows you to feel more confident at the end of games, understanding and knowing, I guess you can say, and believing that you're going to pull it out. So right now, we just got to find a way to win the fourth quarter.
Were you hoping that they almost let them score there at the end to get a chance to get?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, when they tried it, they went freeway. It's NFL. Those guys know exactly what we're going to try to do too. That's the beauty of the league is every play matters and every play is hard to execute. And even when you're trying to give it to them, they understand that and they don't want to take it, right? And so, maybe we've got to install picking a guy up and just running them into the end zone. But that's the beauty of just game management, and they did it better.
John Machado with The Athletic. You obviously go against your defense in practice. What gives you confidence that they can get it fixed?
That we go against them every day. I mean, it's an iron sharpen iron mentality. I understand the players and the pieces that they have over there. You see them working each and every day. You see them getting better. At the end of the day, they're getting better. I mean, the communication, they're getting the ball out, and so they're going to get better.
And then just a loss like this, how does it impact your thoughts on what the season can still be?
It's a long season. It's a long season. I've been 3-5 before, I guess, right? And we went and ran and made the playoffs. So that's my point. We've just got to find a way to win these close games right here, and I've got all the confidence that we will. Right, that game right there, I just wanted the ball back in my hands, knowing that we'd go win, and unfortunately it didn't happen. But reality of it is we've got to do better on that last 3 and out. And more importantly, we got to score in the red zone when we had that chance there. And right, that field goes for a tie, or they're having to score to win. So it's a long season. It's a long season. We got a lot of great players. We got guys getting healthy and guys coming back. That's only going to make this team better, more explosive, and just. We got to keep our heads down and keep working, understand it's a process, and it is a loss, but it's also we got to take something and learn from it.
Nick Harris, 4-Star Telegram. How do you not let frustration kind of boil over when you basically have to go out there and score every drive to stay in games at this point?
Yeah, that's my standard. I don't ever go out there thinking let's punt the ball or after a first down we're good. So if we don't score, last thing I'm doing is being frustrated at the defense. Like that's my problem. That's our problem. That's somebody on offense or something that we didn't do better. You guys know me, I'm a look in the mirror type guy before I ever would think about pointing a finger. So I've got to be accountable to, there's 2 or 3 plays I can think of at the top of my head. And sure, there's not big plays, maybe plays you won't pick out, but that, I'm thinking, hey, if I throw it there, if I do this, what does that drive turn into? What's the next play? What's the next third down? So part of the game, you got to look at yourself and fix that first.
You've had a lot of talented pass catchers in your career. With George Pickens, is this the quickest you've been able to establish this strong connection with a guy?
I guess. I mean, CD was pretty fast. Unfortunately, I was just hurt within 5 games and, didn't get to show the rest of it. That's credit to these guys. Like, that's credit to them wanting to understand what I'm thinking, running their routes hard, and then after we communicate, going and executing it. And it's fun to throw it to a guy like that. It's fun to watch him. Speaking of CD, he gets back and he gets healthy. Good luck on how teams are going to play us. You got guys like Ferg. You've got other playmakers out there making plays. Turb's getting healthy. We got Flo, JT. Yeah, George definitely opens it up. We're thankful to have him.
Tommy Arsh, DallasCowboys.com. You'd had a couple misses earlier in the year with Ferg up the middle, and seemed rather to see it cash in today. How refreshing was that?
Yeah, it was great. Got a good look from the defense. The backer was kind of flat-footed. I saw he wasn't getting depth. They leaned the safety over there. That's probably one of the easier ones, right? Trusting a guy like that. But it was good to cash in on, especially right after last week, as we talked about the one that should have been easy. Just to come back today and to get one, proud of him.
Rico's been running wild.
Hey, hold up. I'll call on you.
Yeah, we go around there.
Joe White, Dallas Morning News. Obviously, that screen pass on the last drive, when you guys behind the sticks, the couple plays after that, how difficult was it just to try to push the ball downfield, knowing you guys were already behind the sticks?
Yeah, it was tough, and one understanding that they're going to try to put a lid on it, that not just because of the success we were having, but that's kind of their, get back on track defense. They gave kind of a 2-man look. It's one of those things, looking at the picture, I'm like, man, could I have taken that inside slot to JT right there? And you guys would probably go back and look at it and say, yeah. But it's one of those, thinking that nickel can drive it, should potentially drive it with that coverage. Went through the progression as normal and got 2 negative plays in a row after the screen. That hurt us. And right on the 3rd down, it's just about being smart. And trust me, I want to throw it into tight windows and make plays, but it's a team game. And you've got to trust the other side. You've got to trust special teams, defense, the coach, and the play calling. And unfortunately, we just didn't get it back tonight.
Do you kick yourself more about having to set up a field goal when you get down to the red zone or the last drive? I mean, because
Yeah, no, the red zone. The red zone. I mean, the last drive was. We'll all have to go back and look at that and try to dissect that. And good job by them. So like I said, right, just said it over and over. Nice, the NFL. Good job by them, right? We've been having a lot of success. They got us on 1st down, and when you're behind the sticks, it's hard to get going again. So, but most definitely the red zone trip when. I know that there's 2 balls in the end zone that were ops to cash in on. One was a scramble, right? Schoon would have to make a hell of a catch, so not on him. And then they brought a cover 0 late. Didn't get to necessarily alert the receivers that it was 0. GP ran a good route. One of those ones we'll communicate on, and he'll run it maybe a tad different next time, understanding the situation, and we maybe cash in on that. But yeah, definitely. Anytime we get in the red zone, knowing the players, the plays, what we're capable of, and we don't score, yeah, the game's different. The rest of the 4 or 5 minutes, what was left or whatever, 6 minutes, it's different after that.
Okay.
Sorry to blur it out, different protocol. Nico's been running wild the last couple of weeks. Do you miss him, and do you have a message for him?
Great job tonight. Great job last week. He told us to buckle up. He got the last laugh. We got a hell of a group of running backs. I love my team, but I miss the guy. Rico's a hell of a friend. But proud of him more than anything. And as I said, I messaged him last week. I didn't get to see him right there after the game. I'll connect with him. But he knows there's nothing but love.